Welcome to News Mongolian MNB World. I'm Jugder Gambold. And for our top stories, Mongolia and the UK strengthen ties with a comprehensive partnership roadmap. The Speaker of Parliament of Kyrgyzstan visits Chinggis National Museum. The Austrian Mongolian Business Forum convened on Thursday. For the news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs Batsitsig of Mongolia engaged in official discussions with David Cameron, Secretary of the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, who is currently undertaking an official visit to Mongolia.
During the formal negotiations, both parties reaffirmed their commitment to building upon 6 decades of cooperation, aiming to elevate bilateral relations to new heights while fostering mutually beneficial collaboration across various sectors. The discussions delved into the two nations' ties with a shared determination to expand cooperation in trade, economics, culture, education, tourism, e-governance, and geological exploration. Furthermore, the dialogue encompassed Mongolia's long-term and medium-term development strategies, Vision 2050, and the New Revival Policy, exploring avenues for partnerships in alignment with Mongolia's aspirations. Notably, both sides explored potential collaboration within Mongolia's Billion Trees national movement, highlighting a commitment to environmental sustainability as well as shared global goals. Following the negotiations, Minister Batsitsig and Minister Cameron sealed the discussions with the signing of the Comprehensive Partnership Roadmap, outlining a strategic framework for enhanced cooperation between Mongolia and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. This landmark agreement signals a pivotal step forward in the strengthening of diplomatic ties and underscores their shared commitment to mutual prosperity and advancement between the two nations.
During his visit, Nurlanbek Shakayev, the Speaker of the Jogorku Khanate of the Kyrgyz Republic, accompanied by a delegation from Kyrgyzstan, toured the Chinggis National Museum of Mongolia on April 24, 2024. They explored the relics of a nomadic civilization for the exhibition and participated in the scientific conference titled Investigating the Historical Bonds Between Chinggis Khan, His Descendants, and the Kyrgyz People.
Upon receiving an invitation from Dzandar Shatarqomchov, the Speaker of Parliament of Mongolia, Nurlanbek Shakayev embarked on an official visit to Mongolia from April 23rd to April 25th. The opening ceremony of the scientific conference exploring the historical connections between Chinggis Khan, his descendants, and the Kyrgyz people commenced with a performance by the Khaan Narod Ensemble from the Chinggis Khan National Museum. Subsequently, dignitaries delivered opening remarks. The photo exhibition features historical artifacts related to the Middle Age and Chinggis Khan's mission to Central Asia. In addition, it displays the cultural artifacts, ornaments, and decorations of Kyrgyz nomads dating back to 19th and early 20th century. The conference will feature presentations by Mongolian and Kyrgyz scholars focusing on shared heritage and unique aspects of Mongolian and Kyrgyz history, as well as the relationship between the two countries during the era of Chinggis Khan's descendants.
Representatives of the National History Museum of the Kyrgyz Republic, Manas University, and Kyrgyz Academy of Sciences are taking part in this conference. The conference discussion centers around Chinggis Khan and his battles related to artifacts found in Central Asia. Mongolian and Kyrgyz nomads have many similarities that led to the forming of the Great Mongolian Empire. Is that Mongolian nomad households had at least 100 horses, while the Kyrgyz household had only a single one. This and many more themes were discussed during this conference.
The events were organized through a collaboration between the Chinggis National Museum of Mongolia, the Institute of History and Ethnology of the Mongolian Academy of Sciences, and the Institute of History, Archaeology and Ethnology named after Jamgir Chinov of the National Academy of Sciences of the Kyrgyz Republic.
The Austrian Mongolian Business Forum convened on Thursday, April 25th, marking the 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties between Mongolia and Austria. This milestone underscores decades of growing economic collaboration between the two nations, as evidenced by a tenfold increase in trade turnover, now totaling 40 million euros.
Austrian companies specializing in healthcare, agriculture, education, and food sectors seized the opportunity to forge partnerships in Mongolia. Many projects were implemented in Mongolia with the support of Austria. Progress was especially made in the medical sector.
Also from the fruit processing sector, also there in the agricultural business and in the stage building businesses, so there are a few of our finest in Austria. One of the main factors in the last years were the 3 tranches of the concessional loan agreement Mongolia and Austria had. So we are really looking forward to get the 4th tranche, because projects will be on the way. Project in the healthcare sector, project in the agricultural project in infrastructure. There would be a lot of potential, and this is one of the main reasons the trade turnover rose in the last couple of years.
As trade opportunities grow more challenging, Austrian companies have a better chance to secure loans at favorable terms. 3 tranches of soft loans have been allocated so far. Now the discussion is ongoing on the issue of the next tranche for soft loans. Austria boasts a diverse and robust economy with key industries contributing to its economic growth and stability. Some of the prominent industries and sectors in Austria include manufacturing, tourism, services, energy, technology, food processing, and so on. The participants of the forum note the importance of learning and introducing know-how of Austrian companies.
Even though Austria is only a small country, it does have a strong industry and trade sector. Therefore, trade experts work with the embassies to study new markets.
The Business Forum was organized as part of the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries.
Now please take a look at currency exchange rates provided by the Mongol Bank. Now please have foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Poland's foreign minister on Thursday said his government wants to be at the center of decision-making in the European Union, seeking to re-establish the country as a reliable international partner as the war in Ukraine rages across the border.
Setting out his vision for Poland at the heart of Europe, Radek Sikorski warned that a Russian attack on NATO would end in defeat for Moscow, but NATO must increase its defenses. Sikorski's speech set out the new direction of the pro-European government of Prime Minister Donald Tusk, which took office in December, replacing the coalition led by the arch-conservative Law and Justice Party. Tusk and Sikorski returned to the same leadership roles they led before, losing power in 2015. The government has vowed to restore democratic norms eroded in the interim.
The European Union as a space of security and economic development to which the vast majority of Poles want to belong, but not for our predecessors. For them, it's an imagined community, a soulless Brussels, from which anonymous bureaucrats allegedly imposed directives on Poland that take away its sovereignty.
Among those attending the speech was President Andrzej Duda, who is aligned with Law and Justice, as well as members of the diplomatic corps in Warsaw, who listened to the speech from the parliament's gallery.
It is in Poland's obvious interest to keep the aggressor as far away from our borders as possible. Therefore, a sovereign Ukraine must win this war, and peaceful international order in Europe must be restored. The foundation of Poland's security remains the transatlantic alliance with the leading role of the United States. Our goal is to maintain and strengthen American involvement in Europe, and at the same time strengthen the European pillar of the alliance.
Law and Justice led Poland from 2015 to 2023, and while it stressed ties with the United States, it had a conflicted stance toward the 27-member European Union, and in particular toward Germany, which invaded and occupied Poland during World War II. Sikorski stressed the importance of friendship with Germany, saying that the period of confrontation under the previous government had ended. Sikorski's speech was directed at both the world and the domestic audience in the nation of 38 million people, located along the eastern flank of both and NATO and the European Union. It is key hub for Western weapons going to Ukraine.
Worshippers held the traditional priestly blessing at Jerusalem's Western Wall on Thursday, dedicated to the Israeli hostages held by Hamas. Parents and the relatives of hostages are praying for God, wishing for a safe return of 133 hostages abducted on October 7th.
I came to the big and powerful priestly blessing that was held here because Elia can't say the priestly blessing because he is in Gaza right now. And this priestly blessing is so much more important this year because of the special Passover that we are in when there are still 133 hostages that are in Gaza waiting to be saved. And we are waiting for the heroic soldiers to enter, to bring them and return them to us, safe and sound in body and soul.
There is a big change this year. We have hostages which was brutally kidnapped by the Hamas. And there's no question, it's on our shoulder to release them. Part of that, although I'm an officer, it's praying for the God. That's the reason hundreds of thousands of people prayed here for them.
The Israel-Hamas war was sparked by the unprecedented October 7th raid into southern Israel in which militants killed around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and abducted around 250 hostages. Israel says the militants are still holding around 100 hostages and the remains of more than 30 others. A one-week ceasefire in November saw the release of around 100 Israeli hostages in exchange for a larger number of Palestinian prisoners.
All right, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a great day ahead.